speak of Castleford then, big win for them over Warrington. I've got to be honest, I watched Warrington the week before Leeds. They stumped the gaff out. They were awful. But I saw the team and I saw Cass had a couple missing, and you think, yeah, I think they'll just about get it done.
Yeah.
And Cass, fair play to them. Fantastic performance, going there and winning, and won by 2 points in the end. I don't understand the mentality. Ratchford kicking for goal near the end, where even if you'd got it, you're still not in front. There's no guarantee A, he kicked it or B, kicked it dead, so you're giving away possession. Surely that would bang that in the corner and get on with it. I just thought it was poor.
I think that said everything about Warrington.
I think a few people have raised some good points, right? I think it's important. Steve Price up for coach there. He's won one of the main trophies, so I can see it. They've lost 8 out of the last 9 in Super League. That is the worst form in Super League in the last 9 games, or 8 games and the playoff game. That is terrible. They're fallen off a cliff, Warrington. I think their season has been a failure for all this hype. Yeah, they won the cup, but for everything that they're hyping up and all those silly gimmicks they're doing about the gifts or whatever about St Helens not winning the treble. Well, they should be getting it back now, because all this talk and it's nothing. Knocked out. They're spending too much money to get knocked out in the first week of the playoffs. For me, they were awful. Something has gone wrong there. I don't know what it is. But something has gone badly wrong at Warrington.
The one thing I didn't fully understand, because you don't really look back until you got the result of that game, is that I looked at that Warrington team and thought there weren't too many players missing.
No, there weren't.
So although Blake Austin got injured and that meant a little bit of a reshuffle, and I get that, and he's been very important to them when they were playing very, very well, almost to the extent perhaps that Ben Barber was at St Helens last year, that don't worry if we're in trouble, give it to Blake, he'll sort it out.
That's a long time ago, though, isn't it? That's a real long time ago.
But I looked at their team and thought, the difference between these two is one is a collection of individuals. Warrington have become some very talented players who are not playing as a team. Oh, we're in trouble. Darryl Clark will run out of dummy half, that normally gets them. Castleford, who had some guys missing and all year have had to shuffle the deck that they've got,
Mend and make do, yeah,
are playing very, very similarly to the way Featherstone are playing in the playoffs in the Championship at the moment. That is a team. That is like, if we're going to go down, we're going to go down together.
Yeah.
And it's all right. Everybody knows that Truman's our one creative outlet. If he gets bottled up, we'll just tackle our asses off instead. And I just thought at the end of that game, that was the difference between the teams was how they approached it. That Warrington, it was almost, we've got some good players, we'll be okay. That penalty was a classic example of everything that went wrong at Warrington in the second half of the Ratchford has no history of kicking a penalty from halfway.
No.
So don't do it.
No,
you're 2 points behind. Put pressure on the opposition.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought it sends out the wrong message to me. What did you make of it, Gary?
Well, from Castle's point of view, I'll just with them before I rip into Warrington. To be honest with you, is that Cass fancied that, and I predicted Castle. I think I said by 8 or 10, which obviously he didn't get that. But anyway, I fancied Castle. They're in the mood. They're fancying the playoffs now. They're used to the semi-final football. They fancied Warrington on Thursday night, and I thought Rankin was outstanding at full-back. Matt Shane, that's his best game, I would say, for around about a couple of months. Liam Wasser, we've seen from there. Excuse me, Milner came off the bench. Peter, what's his Matautier. He was outstanding, but overall, the big game players and the big names, they stood up for Cass on Thursday night, and they looked like a team. They fancied it. And as far as Warrington, I think they're up themselves. I do. I think they're up themselves at this moment in time. I think they're showing plenty of arrogance towards people. I listened to an interview before the game started on Thursday night, and it was Lee Briers, and everybody knows how to rate Lee Briers, not just as a person, but also as a player from there. But what he said in the interview was, the question was, you're not coming to the best form so far to this game, how do you fancy it? He just said, well, let me just answer that. He just says, at this moment in time, it's a separate competition, so we're not bothered about the form coming into this game. We're the best knockout competition team in the competition. We proved that with the Challenge Cup. Yeah, all right, then you won 3 games and won the Challenge Cup, fair enough. But to be saying you're not bothered about your form coming into the top 5 game, the first playoff game, pressurised game, because let's not forget here, Warrington have brought in one player here this year to get them not only to the grand final, to win the grand final.
Look,
so I
get what he's saying there, but if Briers comes out and goes, oh, bloody hell, we're worried about us form, we're playing like a set of dogs. Everyone would have been going, oh, they're not going to win, they're not going to win. He's got to come out and say, it's like a boxer might think, I might be in for a tough night. He's not going to come out and go, well, I think I might lose. I'm going to knock him out. He's got to come out and say that, he's got to come out and be positive. Fair, come on.
I'm not saying not to be positive, but as I've said, over arrogance. Surely they over arrogance.
Did you ever get interviewed before you played Wigan in the final and go, oh yeah, we'll win. Yeah, we can beat Wigan. No problem, we'll beat Wigan. If we play well, we'll win.
I think you've got to be smart when you're doing these sort of interviews, haven't you? At the end of the day,
how come you didn't then?
How come what?
How come you didn't?
Did you?
If you've got to be smart, how come you got interviewed?
Because I'm going to speak proper, to be honest. And speaks a bit of sense, to be honest with you. But no, I still think it was arrogance because, as I say, there wasn't worried about the form. Yeah, you could put a spin on it if you want, and and as you should mention there, well, we A, B, C, and D from there, but they had to be worried about the form, and
maybe they were internally.
I found it very surprising. Well, at the end of the day, it's come out to kick them on the backside, hasn't it? With that arrogance.
How did they win? How did they win then at Wembley? How did they turn up and win and play so well at Wembley? Because that was in the midst of that bad run.
They knew Blake Austin wasn't playing, and they knew that if they didn't all play as one, they didn't have a chance.
And also as well, and
I think that Austin coming back, clearly not fit, clearly been one of the players of the season, as almost everybody else has stepped back and said, well, if he's back, I'll just support him. It's not enough.
And also as well, when you're playing as underdogs, when really there's not a lot of pressure on you, and also as well, when you realise if you put the opposition under a lot of pressure, you find out they're only human. I don't think Warrington gave Castleford the respect what they deserved on Thursday night. That's the point I'm making, man.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. But I also, for Breeze, you can't come out and say, oh, we're worried about his fault. He's got to come out and be
No, but I think there needs to make a couple of team selection changes. I think there needs to bring some young players in who are hungry. Because you quite rightly mentioned the form going into the playoffs, particularly those games after Wembley, when you do go on an emotional high, and it does take. I think that's when you need to bring a couple of you young kids in, your Thewlisses, or Harvey Livette has not really had the game time that perhaps he should have done, and just to freshen it all up, just to put bodies in there and eagerness. And that's been lacking for Warrington, I think, this year.
Well, one player. Let's go back to because a few people said to me, Score, the season's been spoiled by Warrington's Challenge Cup. I said, you can't blame the Challenge Cup. The Challenge Cup was 5 weeks ago now, was it? 5 weeks ago. Have you seen, we all saw the way that Murdoch Masala played at Wembley. How good was he at Wembley? Have you seen him play like that since?
And they know.
I've seen him play like that.
When we talk about consistency,
And having got to both finals last year, they know what it takes.
Yeah.
So that's no excuse.
Didn't derail him last year.
No excuse.
And also as well, I've got to say, and I've backed him and I've stuck up for him many times. But Declan Patton, I'm sorry, but his performance on Friday night was the worst I've seen him play. The worst I've seen him play. And we know next year that Gareth Winnip is coming. I tell you what, I think it might be time for Declan Patton to look for another club, because he ain't going to play for Warrington unless there's serious injury doubts. His performance on Friday night was simply not good enough.
We've got a 5 in the paper. I mean, we'll praise Castleford in a bit, don't worry, Cass fans. Warrington blame on the cup final, says Kev, not buying it. The season would have been a disaster if not for the cup. Players have the wrong attitude for him. Tom's saying Patton had a shocker again. I said last week, Steve Price shouldn't be in the shortlist of the Super League Coach of the Year, because A, it says Super League in the title, and B, they were second. They were clear in second. And they've completely cocked up the chance of having 2 shots at the grand final.
Yeah, you're right.
Salford,
well, they're hanging on, weren't they, realistically, come the end, it's been an interesting...
Wembley was great, says Andy, but they failed again. The team is a lot better than last month's showing, and as a fan I want answers. The only team recently in the Super League was Wakefield.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they put a form table on Sky?
There would have been
for the second half of the season. And they've got to...
Yeah, there would have been, Yeah, awful.
Well, again, is it not showing, again, I use the 2 words, is it not showing arrogance and disrespect to the opposition? It is.
Well, I just wonder how a team can be so good and the same place so bad. And that has been the same place. Not like they've had a mass injury.
Yeah.
All right, they lost Austin. So what are you saying, you're a one-man team? Well, they weren't a one-man team when they won at Wembley, were they? So, I don't think you can have that argument either.
So last week you rated all the teams as they go out. The team that's gone out this week is Warrington.
Yeah.
Marks out of 10 for the season.
Well, the only success you can say is the Challenge Cup. But after that, And I say because their ambition and their goal, as we all know, as Richard Shaw likes to keep saying every season, is it their year? It's going to be their year.
I don't think he's just
Well again, it's not going to be their year. And if it wasn't for the Challenge Cup, it would have been a disaster. And I say, all right, they've won the Challenge Cup, but apart from that, very, very poor. I can't give them no more than a 6.
Someone picked up on my tweet about that on Thursday. It was very interesting.
What about yourself?
5.
5?
Because my expectation was that last year they got to 2 finals,
Yeah.
and that almost whetted their appetite for where they wanted to be. To have won the Challenge Cup final and then not carried on, I think that's a massive disappointment.
Absolutely.
So the first half of the season you probably give them an 8
Yeah.
when it looked like they were going to be second. Second half of the season is probably a 4. So for me overall maybe a 5. Disappointing.
What about yourself, Mark?
I'm just wondering about our next review because I can hear you snooking up then. Super League, they won the cup, I get that. Yeah, fine. Honestly, I think it's better. I actually tweeted this on when they lost on Friday. How would you say? I think it's been a disaster. I think it's from where they were to finish 4th and not win in the playoffs at home. They will be asking questions. That is not good enough. Except getting to the grand final and losing, maybe, but not like that. It was a capitulation. It was a white flag's gone on. I don't know what's gone on there. We can't take away from Castle. We've got to praise Castle because they went there and won. And as you said, Scully, they clearly fancied it. And Darryl Powell is talking it up, saying, "Yeah, come on then, we'll let's go to Salford and do it again."
Well, I think what was it, 6-7 weeks ago now? Was it Darryl said he wanted 7 from 7. The build up to the semi-finals, and he wanted some good form. He wanted plenty of confidence. I think he got 4 out of 7, didn't he, from there? But he's fancied the semi-finals. He's got the feeling now that if they can make the 5, and he's not too worried that he's got to go play away from home. The players fancy it, and the players certain himself the way that he see with the body language, with the smile on the faces from there. They're up for the challenge as well. So if Castleford are going to go down, they're certainly going to go down with a big fight, and they fancied that. They fancied that there on Thursday night. And one thing for sure, certainly when I looked at the forward pack, Millington looked back to his best as well. He didn't look as though he was carrying a massive injury from there. He got himself heavily involved. So Castle certainly fancy Thursday. They will fancy it.
I like people like Matt Cook. Because I think to be a threat at this stage of the season, everybody's got to offer you something. And him coming off the bench always seems, to me, lift. There were times when Warrington brought guys off the bench and the intensity didn't go up. In fact, in some respects, it possibly went down. There were guys who returned that didn't make a difference. Somebody like Matt Cook, who is a name you don't think of first off when you're listing all the guys who've had a really... I just thought he made a massive contribution. If you're going to do anything in a competition like this, particularly playing away every week, those are the kind of guys you've got to rely on.
I like Cook. I think he's a good player. I'm very impressed. You'll have been happy with your new adopted team.
Everyone in the WF postcode area, apart from one team, we're all in favour of.
Which team's that?
Well, we like Wakefield, obviously. Cass, Fev, all the women's teams, Dewsbury and Batley. And they're the only ones. No other professional teams that play in the WF postcode. Don't like them. They're not really Wakefield. Not that Dewsbury and Batley are, but we'll claim them anyway, if they do something good. Actually, if Dewsbury signs Brett Ferry, it's got to be great, because then Wakefield can't sign him.
Next week on the show, our special guest, Brett Ferris. If he's here in place of Richard, he'll be beaten outside the front door.
Castley well to say they only played with 16 players as well.
Yes, they did. They did.
I can't get over Jacques O'Neill.
What am I?
It should be Jacques. He's from Montreal. What's he doing in Super League? Jacques.
I think you'll find it's Jack anyway.
I know. What's going on?
So, what, a Canadian in Super
I
League?
know. These fancy spines in this.
They
I think
don't
it's like the
play with
NFL.
A Canadian in
They don't
Super
play
League?
rugby league in Canada.
It's like the NFL with all their spines.
Is Robert Elson aware of this?
I don't know.
He might be getting out, kicking him out.